everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Think Smart. My name is Sulai, and I am dedicating this channel to share with you all of the information, tips, and tricks that allowed me to live a happier, healthier, and a smarter life in general. So in today's topic, I want to talk to you about 3 very quick tricks that allowed me to stay positive during the corona. I know that this is such a very stressful time to a lot of us, and most of us had to endure this in some way or another. Some of us had to relocate, some of us had their incomes shut down, and some of us had to shut down their businesses. And so I just want to share with you 3 tips that allowed me to thrive through these very stressful situations. So before I tell you about my tricks and tips, I want you to know that there are 3 things that you always have control over. That is what you think about, the images that you have in your head, so what you visualize, and what you tell yourself. In other words, the self-talk. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is your thoughts. You know, 95% of our thought is subconscious, and so most of the thoughts that we think about on a daily basis are automatic, and you know, most of them by nature are negative, because this is a 2 million year old brain that is primed for survival, and with that comes the negative thoughts. So we want to try our best to capture these thoughts whenever we catch ourselves thinking of them, and rewire our brain to think in a positive way. So to do that, you must first recognize the negative thought. So every time, you know, you're sitting by yourself and you're thinking about something negative, we need to pause, take a deep breath, and then think of the situation in a positive way. And you know, it is not easy, but it's simple, and it takes a little bit of time, but over time, just like anything else in life, you can have this habit into your life, just like a muscle that you train over and over again until you become good at it. So every time you catch yourself thinking in a negative way, pause and change it into a positive one. So let's say that you're thinking about, you know, every time that you get out of your house that you're gonna catch the corona from someone. You need to change that thought, and the way we can do that is by, again, changing the thought into a more positive one. And so by thinking that every time I go outside, I'm gonna meet someone that is good, I'm gonna have a great day, and it's gonna be I'm gonna have positive circumstances and external factors around me. So the thoughts, what you think about is very important, because where focus goes, energy flows. Anything that you think about and give it time, an emotion is going to reciprocate out of that. And to know if you're thinking about something in a good way or not, just listen to your emotion. If you are feeling something negative, then what you're thinking is negative. And if you feel something positive, or at least neutral, then know that what you're thinking of is neutral or positive. So it is very important to really be careful about what you think of. The second thing is the images that you hold in your head, and that is really important. You see, the brain has 2 types of neurons, or 2 types of cells that allow us to function in our daily lives. That is the mirror neurons, and we have the motor neurons. By its name, the mirror neurons are designed to capture all of the thoughts that we think about and everything that we see on the external world, and it then transfers it to the motor neurons. And these motor neurons are then destined to allow you to take action. So if the images that you have in your head are negative, then these images will go into your mirror neurons, and then they will transfer to your motor neurons, and they will actually implement your reality. So for example, let's say that you have to give a presentation tomorrow, and you're thinking about, you might forget key points that you have to talk about tomorrow in the presentation. These images, first of all, will create a negative emotion, which is fear, and will also transfer themselves into the motor neurons and will then be acted upon, so that when you actually are presenting the next day, guess what? What you visualized of forgetting things, they're gonna happen in reality. So it is very important to really focus on the images that you keep in your head. The third thing that I want to talk to you about is the self-talk, and that is very important. You see, again, not just where focus goes, energy flows, but anything that you tell yourself becomes a part of your subconscious, and it strengthens these neural pathways that will allow you to feel a certain way or another. So for instance, if I am sitting by myself and I'm thinking that I am not good enough, or I am not smart enough, or I am not strong enough to go through these really tough conditions, then these will strengthen certain neural pathways in the frontal lobe, which is the which are located in the front part of the brain, and also in the parietal and temporal lobes, that will allow you to feel negative and will allow you to feel frustrated, and eventually will create this sad and negative reality that you are or might be a part of. So it is very important to catch yourself every time you are speaking to yourself in a negative way and change that. And the way you do that is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. First, you have to capture and recognize that you are talking to yourself in a negative way, because recognizing the problem is half of the solution, as Einstein said. The second thing is to change it into a positive self-affirmation. So every time I tell myself, I catch myself saying, I'm not good enough or I'm not smart enough, I pause and I say, no, I am good enough because I am just good enough. You don't have to have a reason to be good enough or to be smart enough. You are a perfect person just because you are living on this earth. So every time you catch yourself doing one of these three things, thinking in a negative way, or visualizing something negative, or even speaking to yourself in a negative way, pause and then revert it into something positive. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and please comment below with things that you would like me to talk about, and even things that helped you thrive through these stressful conditions. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next week with a new video.